So recently, I was digging through this crate that I have of like old nostalgia and ephemera and stuff like that, and I find this this old restaurant order ticket, and it's yellow and it's aged, and at the top of it, it has a logo. It says Sandarelli's Italian Restaurant, and at the bottom, it says, written in my handwriting, the words, "Here I stand in the belly of a sinking ship." And to understand the significance of those words, you have to travel back in time with me to my senior year of high school. It was a Friday evening. I just finished school for the day. My mom drops me off at my part-time job at this Italian restaurant, like reasonably upscale Italian restaurant called Sandarelli's Italian Restaurant. And I'm so nervous. Like I'm walking up to the building, and I'm nervous because even though I have like a very low stakes job as a prep cook, kind of working in the back of the restaurant, like the Friday dinner rush it's real. And, you know, it's just like an onslaught for all of us. So I'm approaching the back door of the restaurant, and I feel like I'm like a World War II GI packed into one of those Higgins landing crafts headed straight for Normandy Beach. And I get to the back door, and I open it up, and I walk in, and as soon as I step in to Sandarelli's, I can just sense that like something is off. Something's not right. And the first thing I notice is the staff. Like there are these employees working here that I've not only never worked with, I've never seen these people before. And they're wearing different uniforms from me. Like I'm wearing this like green Sandarelli's polo that all my coworkers typically wear, and these people are all wearing red Sandarelli's polos, which is weird. And then Carol Sandarelli, like sort of the matriarch of the family business, is there, and she approaches me. And she comes up and tells me that at around 4 p.m. that day, the entire kitchen staff of Line Cooks faxed in their letters of resignation. So all of these red shirt employees were like these ringer, like pinch hitters that they bust in from the other Sandarelli's location about 45 minutes away. But the thing you have to know about that other Sandarelli's location is that they did not offer our bougie pasta menu that we had at our Sandarelli's. So, which means that in this entire establishment, there was only one employee who had any familiarity or working knowledge of our menu. And that was a high school senior whose only previous job experience was getting fired from his custodial position at a Manhattan Bagel. So this is the story of how I, at 17 years old, became, by default, the head chef of an upscale Italian restaurant. So I step into the kitchen, and all the red shirts are looking at me. Carol Sandarelli is looking at me. The order ticket printer is just like spewing out order after order after order of like fettuccine alfredo and vodka penne and like meatballs with marinara. And I'm looking around, and everyone is looking at me for their marching orders. What now? What now? So the first thing I think to do is, okay, I did observe the head chef previously, and I saw him make some of these things. So what do I remember? So, okay, fettuccine alfredo, I think it was like butter, garlic, and then cream, and then Parmesan, and you're done. And then like the vodka sauce was basically the Alfredo sauce, except you throw a little vodka in there in the beginning, and then you hit it with a little marinara in the end. Okay, cool. The calamari, it's like you take the little squid guys and you chop them up into little rings, and then egg wash, flour, fryer, done. Okay, cool. All of the things that I didn't know how to make, that I never observed, we were literally just using the menu as a cookbook. So it was like something called like tortellini bellissima, and it was like, okay, it's got tortellini and it's got green peas and prosciutto and a cream sauce. Make that, I guess. So in case any of you are hearing the beginning of this story and thinking this is like a story of me rising to the challenge, or a story of me like overcoming adversity with pluck and determination, you have to understand, this was a shit show. Like, I want you to picture this kitchen. It's just like stacks upon stacks upon stacks of dirty and unwashed pans and pots that we didn't have any time to wash because all hands on deck in the kitchen. It was like plates upon plates upon plates of entrees that we hadn't finished putting together. It was like ballistic splatters of dried marinara all over the kitchen and like calamari tentacles hanging off of door handles. It was a massacre. And the other thing you need to understand is this was a reasonably upscale Italian restaurant. It was designed several years earlier in the style of a rustic Tuscan villa. It had a full working bar, and it was equipped with a beautifully appointed open kitchen. So just glass all around us. So this kitchen nightmare is unfolding in this like fucking fishbowl that every customer can see. So it comes as no surprise about like an hour and a half into our shift, like we're just making a dent in our ticket order mountain, when all of the waitstaff just kind of calmly files into the kitchen, and they announce to us that every single customer has left the building. So our spaghetti D-Day basically turned into an Italian Waterloo. So what now? After this point, in the days and weeks that followed, I remained the head chef of Sandarelli's Italian restaurant. They couldn't find anybody else, I guess. And I did rise to the challenge. I practiced the menu at home. I got cooking tips from my mom. I got to the point where I could really throw down like a killer fettuccine Alfredo with my eyes closed. And I learned how to cook clean. I learned how to cook fast. I ran a tight ship. Until one Saturday morning, when I showed up to work, and Carol Sandarelli was waiting there. And she was there to break the news that they decided that it was time to close down this location. Okay, so I kind of sleepwalked to the spotless open kitchen that I now ran, and I picked up an old discarded order ticket, and I wrote my own epitaph. Here I stand in the belly of a sinking ship. Was it my fault that Sandarelli's Italian restaurant went out of business? No, I did everything I could to keep that place above water. But was it their fault for appointing a 17-year-old as the head chef of an upscale Italian restaurant? Absolutely. Like, I didn't have my driver's license yet, and they were putting me in charge of people's anniversary dinners. But when the final day came, when Sandarelli's Italian restaurant met its inevitable fate, I was there. And like a true blue captain of calamari, I went down with the ship.